jungler for closer. He has done very well with getting leads for the team on early game junglers. And Rek'Sai is one of the most flexible and versatile gank paths.
Yeah, very strong champion. Other side, you talked about the tanks coming through. Trundle is the answer here for Santorin. Played it just yesterday and got first blood at level 1 in the top lane. Well, I guess he was level 2, but it was really strong overall. I like this. It feels pretty comfortable for a front-to-back team fight as far as just kind of hitting people and bashing your face against each other. Alistar did get buffs a couple patches ago. His healing cooldown from the passive is a lot shorter, so we'll see him sustain both himself and his teammates a bit more easily in lane and or in team fights.
Yeah, and the Trundle is really funny because Santorin, after the game yesterday, tweeted out 0 practice games on Trundle, 0 scrim games Trundle, but he got the win on the stage there. So gonna go for round 2. Found success.
Yeah,
picking.
I mean, he's a strong champion, right? I think Trundle is very good. I think there's not that many intricate mechanics to him, so don't blame me for just throwing up a pillar and being like, oh, look, Aatrox can't dash. Great. Yeah, I think pretty solid. So again, FlyQuest can guarantee exactly second seed with a win. Golden Guardians must win and get help for a chance at making playoffs. The stakes couldn't be higher for these two teams. So we'll see here after a 5-minute competitive integrity break. We had a quick pause on the FlyQuest side. It has been resumed, and we're just building up that 5-minute buffer. Competitive integrity is a great phrase. Kobe, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm trying to keep my mic right in front of my face so I don't turn and lose any volume.
None of that Tay-Zonday, nonsense, turning away all the time. Make sure
True.
and do it. Yeah, that's
I'm locking eyes with you, Phreak.
I appreciate that. I'm looking into the black void of my webcam and assuming that I'm seeing your pearly white.
My dark heart, my evil.
Wait, are you back to being evil, Kobe? We had this discussion during rehearsal, by the way, where I was like, "Hello, I'm Kobe," and you're like, "But which one? Am I Dark Kobe?" And it was a whole thing. It was funny in the moment, trust me.
I think it's super funny when it gets replayed too.
I'm really good at telling inside jokes and having them not be funny. That's what I'm good at. We had a discussion with Azale as well yesterday. Whole other thing that we'll not get into at all. So, exciting game, of course. FlyQuest, for those of you just joining us, can lock second seed with the win here. That would be pretty exciting for them. They would kind of await the non-picked 3rd or 4th seed for their first round opponent, depending on who Cloud9 wants to play for themselves. Meanwhile, Golden Guardians are fighting for their playoff lives. The only way that they can make it into the top 6 and have a postseason at all is winning here and then getting help down the line.
Yeah, I mean, it's really important with the new format that we have for playoffs where there's the upper bracket and lower bracket. And there's a powerhouse team in the upper bracket called Cloud9 that no one wants to play. So let's see what they can do about it here. Early ward already placed by FlyQuest should see the invade.
All right, so they're walking up into the jungle, getting the wards down decently enough. Golden Guardians definitely spotted doing that. And FlyQuest can generally... They could infer that there could be a ward up there near their red buff. There actually isn't, but it's the kind of thing that Santorin has to kind of be cognizant of and potentially path around.
Yeah, it's definitely something you want to play through as a jungler. If you gain information on where their wards are, then you can feed them false information sometimes as well. As you can see, Sweeper on the bottom side. Nobody. There we go. They give it to FBI. He gets the extra 10.
Yeah, I believe they're trying to play with XP ranges because I don't remember the exact bot lane breakpoints. I know with mid lane, if you get pretty much any share of ward gold or ward XP, you level up on the end of the first wave. Bot lane's a little bit different because it takes 3 melee minutes the second wave, and melees are worth a lot of XP, so it's hard for that breakpoint to matter or to break that breakpoint.
It only matters really for solo lanes.
Yeah,
because you can get your level 2 off the first one there. Bottom side, though, they do get there first. See if they can zone Turtle off at all.
Yeah, hit once.
Like it.
Yeah.
Got him.
Got him. AD carry base health regen is actually very, very low. So if you aren't autoing and healing with the Doran's Blade, actually the damage actually does stick. You tend to have about 1 or less health per second. So sometimes it can matter. That little extra 50 damage can mean a lot once in a while.
I like how there's a defensive ward they placed on the red afterwards as well. Golden Guardians really covering all their bases for the jungle path there for closer, setting up closer for a bottom side focused jungle path. And with FBI and Huhi trying to bully early on for WildTurtle and IgNar, it's definitely the area they want to focus on.
Well, right now, FBI has perfect CS right now. 13 counting the ward he killed early on. Bit of extra damage in this turret, which, you know, never really hurts. A lot of range, obviously, with the sniper rifle as well, poking at IgNar. But, yep, there's that first triumphant roar. It's going to go off a little bit more often than it normally did in the previous patches, and that'll be helpful. The ward ends up making sure that Closer knows he's safe for the red buff. Grabs that, no problem. Equal farming count to Santorin right now, who's on Krugs.
Yep, Trundle pretty happy to farm it out early versus Rek'Sai. There's not really a lot of options for Closer to start off a play, since the tower dive versus full health Alistar and Misfortune is kind of rough. They also have all their summer spells available, so just going to trade Scuttle Crabs.
Anyways, being pushed back and forth up to the top side. Hauntzer on the worst end of it here. There isn't quite 10 CS to pick up, so he's definitely going to be down CS. And last hitting under turret is Ornn. Not easy either. So Viper having a great early laning phase. Drops, I think, literally his first CS of the lane. Would be at 25 with perfect CS, but now here comes a dive. Level 4 for both. TP comes in for a third, and Hauntzer is very alone. Immunes the stun. Viper's going to leave range, but the rest of CC is going to be found. Hauntzer cannot get away. PoE should barely live through that turret shot, and a top lane tower dive 4 minutes in. Gives Viper first blood assist.
And look at all those minions. Hauntzer does have teleport, so he'll instantly use it as soon as he revives, but still loses out on a decent amount of the wave. Meanwhile, if you look at mid lane, well, we'll wait until we get back to live. But here's another look at it: 3 versus 1. Hauntzer tries to flash away under his turret, but there's no getting out of it for him.
Man, I love the calming music. You know, it's just
that's
like,
what
you know,
I was laughing about.
I figured you were. It's like, this is Hauntzer taking the long nap. He's taking a big sleep. We'll see you again in about 15 seconds. But for now, here we go. Huhi is very much alone. Look at the crowd control. 1 versus 2. Second stun comes in. Santorin's already 2-0.
Cue the same music. You know what happens to him in the end. It's going to be Huhi back in the fountain. Really nice engage there from IgNar once again. They catch him out as he's trying to push up and get some vision. And this one's really scrappy really quickly here. 2 kills go to Santorin for the Trundle. It's going to be quite a beefy troll in this game. And as you mentioned in Champ Select, is a very big part of later on in the game when they're trying to front-to-back team fight, shredding that Ornn and possibly the Nautilus, making them very easy targets to take down for the grouping team. So as soon as they start to get those groups around the dragon, we'll see if they can actually bring it to front. Mid lane though, 3 people.
And I gotta say, you know, this is interesting to me because Santorin, I think, is having a far better early game than he was before. Now, PoE, of course, does have the flash, but a lot of crowd control. Just no way out. Closer sets it up, and everyone else knocks it down.
Yep, easy flash combo there. Closer flashes in for the knockup, allows Huhi on the Nautilus, also flashing in, stun locking PowerOfEvil, nothing he can do about it. And as Santorin was just down on the dragon, they have to retreat after their mid laner dies, and the prize will go over to the Golden Guardians.
Nice bubble, keeps GoldenGlue safe, and yeah, that's Ocean Drake picked up very early on. The gold gap getting close pretty quickly by that mid lane kill. A lot of gold lost, of course, to the turret as well. That is a nice pickup there. Golden Guardian's right back in it.
All right, IgNar looking for another one, but GoldenGlue is Zoe, so a lot more difficult to gank. Man, with 3 people having a flash from the jungler, a flash from a...
Oh,
never mind.
Goodbye. I mean, IgNar, I think he's just dead. He's going to try to blast one away. He might actually just have the damage. 1 auto. Oh, this is easily dead.
It's Zoe.
Oh, yeah, he always has him. And now WildTurtle, depending on when the bubble comes back up, because he's got that Spell Thief flash, but the cooldown's long enough that MF gets to walk away, and suddenly Golden Guardians up 500 gold, looking to find when the bubble comes in. There it is. Easy Q to land. Does get away from turret range as well. GoldenGlue is now winning in mid lane.
Yep, definitely Golden Guardians are looking at GoldenGlue on the Zoe right now to try and get them this early lead. FlyQuest had been running all over this game with the early kills onto Santorin, but with the focusing of all their power onto PowerOfEvil, taking him down, flashes forced, this opens up an area that Golden Guardians can play out.
I also don't know how this happened, but suddenly top lane has basically equal farm right now. And when Hauntzer TP'd back to lane and took the rest of the wave. He should have still been down in farm. Okay, now Hauntzer's back up, you know, or sorry, Viper's still up a little bit as he shoves the wave in, but I feel like the top gap closed on its own without any intervention.
Yeah,
-3 is not fair.
There's one of those, look over here for a while, bottom side of the map, lots of action, ignore the Ornn in the top side, cleaning up the extra minions. So definitely well played by Hauntzer to make that happen. Like you talked about though, when we last left it, there were a decent amount at the tower, so maybe Viper just with an extra recall in there. Does have the makings of the Blade of the Ruin King that we're looking for. Starts with the Vamp Scepter plus the extra longsword. And this is going to be Rift Herald.
Yeah, so far Golden Guardians, like, yes, you know, really, really good top lane dive, really good repeat gank then to set up the second kill. But ever since then, or actually the repeat gank, it was just huhi getting caught, to be fair. But after those moments, Golden Guardians able to attack mid lane really easily, get you know, a bunch of gold out of that one. And then now they get the Herald as well. They already got the Drake. This is a very good early game now for Golden Guardians. Up 700 gold. They're going to get another 500 off the turret slam, you have to believe. And they're looking amazing.
And there's been a lot of talk around GoldenGlue. And the end of the season, he has had some very good performances for them, trying to step up for the team. Has also had a hard time in some of the games this split with doing a lot with the lead that he gets. Now, like we talked about, him getting the early kills and the early priority on mid lane, he's got to transition this early power for Golden Guardians around the rest of the map. One of the scariest things about a fed Zoe is her roaming through the river, trying to throw bubbles at your other lanes and then start to affect WildTurtle, start to affect Viper with the possibility of early upgraded Sorkshoe's mobility into a lot of harassment.
Yeah, see if we can make that one happen. 81 CS, definitely high. Kind of beaten only by his other laners. I want to point out, by the way, bot lane up 20 CS right now. And that's with both supports having roamed out, of course. This is actually pretty big stuff. Just in the fact that FlyQuest said, yeah, go ahead and grab first pick of Aphelios. We'll counteract with Misfortune. And WildTurtle is doing nowhere near the lane bowling he's supposed to with the matchup. So FBI doing a great job.
Yeah, FBI. I have to say this is one of his best champions for sure, even with the nerfs. That's why they're really confident in going back to it. And huhi has been great. Let's see about this mid lane, though. Both teams sending extra resources because they know how important it is. Trying to clear out the vision in that river as well. That will eliminate some of those worries about Zoe roaming to the other lanes.
Yep. For now, huhi was known to not be in the mid lane. They saw him helping to clear in bot, so now he's on his way back up. Next Drake in 40 seconds. Viper had roamed down, and it gave enough time for Hauntzer to keep shoving. Pops clarity real quick for some extra mana, and it's actually Hauntzer, as the wave gets cleared out, now equal in CS. He's just objectively out-farming Viper in a one-on-one where he got first blooded in. As Santorin gets poked down, there's the third and fourth plate going down to the mid lane. GoldenGlue's plenty rich. A 1,500 gold lead for Golden Guardians. They can't spend the money on the reset just yet. They're stuck on these items as the Drake comes up in 12.
I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of the early Rift Heralds now. Since they buffed the extra gold on turret plates, Golden Guardians quick cash in right there. And since GoldenGlue is already whittling away at that mid turret, that thing is about to fall over. Golden Guardians are on the precipice of gaining so much control of the map. It already is going to lead to Dragon number 2, and if they finish off that mid turret, they can continue stacking them by getting those deep wards and trying to set up more picks.
Now, taking a quick moment to zoom out from this game for a second, I want to point out the other playoff implications. So if you're a Team Liquid fan, for example, you actually need one of Golden Guardians or just Dignitas to actually get a win to join that three-way tie. That is the only way even TL makes it. So TL is also a Golden Guardians fan right now for the other playoff implications here. Obviously, Golden Guardians want to be in control of their own fate as well. That all gets stopped from Mortals wins later on. But this is Golden Guardians. I'm looking very, very good. FlyQuest, I wouldn't blame Viper for this one, right? He was fine. He helped set up the top lane dive, but the rest of the map is falling apart around it.
Yeah, I mean, Crumb said there were some mystical forces at work yesterday. Dignitas did their part to help out Team Liquid. It looks like Golden Guardians are starting this one out, making their best effort to make it happen as well and make our playoff race that much more exciting. Viper should be able to slip out here, no problem. Renekton just dashing on over. But as we get further into the game, Phreak, and the top CS is just fine there for Hauntzer. This is why people are still automatically picking Ornn, even after the nerfs where you have to get an extra level to start doling out your extra items. Looks like he should be able to get there without any further deaths besides a 3-on-1 tower dive. IgNar might not be so lucky.
Yeah, he has to flash over the wall. It's enough to keep him alive with the ulti and the flash, but those are still important cooldowns that are missing, and if there's to be a repeat fight towards the bottom side, he doesn't have those tools for it, but no Drake's alive. Herald #2, not going to be for a little while, I believe, and so it still means that mid can be attacked. There's still plates on the map. 15 seconds past 13 minutes in means plenty of time to knock that one out. That's going to be a bunch more gold picked up at about 700 to the coffers overall. Is mid-outer the first to be cracked this game? A bit of a rarity, but with how much GoldenGlue is winning mid and that earlier Herald slam, it's looking really, really nice.
IgNar's got a great position.
Could be a collapse. Viper's recalling, I think, to make a TP play happen, potentially. Not going to find anything to do just yet, sitting up in that top corner. Gonna spot out
nice
IgNar
spot
down
there.
Yeah. All right.
And that gives them the push. Look at this. Misfortune gets all the way up to the tower, too. That little roundabout there. It does cost top lane a lot of extra minions, though, and Hauntzer racks up a turret plate. Oh, no!
Oh, he was just
I think
like a
it
quarter
died.
second. Oh, that sucks. He was he was like one auto attack away from 160 gold. Couldn't quite get it. That was all Viper's mastermind play. He recalls. He's saved TP the entire time, by the way. I haven't seen him TP back to lane the entire game. Has the Ruin King now and huhi. This could be dangerous. He's trying to get away. Slams the anchor down. Ult comes in. A stopwatch stops the stun, but he's still going down. huhi, goodbye. FlyQuest finally on the board since those first early kills. And now Viper feeling comfortable against Hauntzer, right? Has so much more damage available to him. Ult's going to land. But does Hauntzer win against Ruin King? I'm not sure that's going to be the truth. 275 health picked up by the empowered Q, and Viper able to get knocked up. Still not sure this is going to be a winning fight for Hauntzer, though. That is a Ruin King. No, not going to find the sleep. Won't find that slow either. Paddlestar forces the flash of the Viper.
That spell book exhaust goes such a long way. Viper just hitting his power spike there with the Blade of the Ruin King. Tries to take the all-in, but with the exhaust, Hauntzer defends it. Even baits him in for GoldenGlue to blow the flash.
It ends up being a, summoner advantage, ultimate advantage. Overall, I guess, the Golden Guardians side. We'll say Hauntzer's CD a little bit longer, but it's close enough between the two. See if they can get more pressure top side or somewhere else. There's obviously no turret to defend mid lane. Hauntzer forced to flash away. IgNar has been everywhere, and generally speaking, he's setting up some good stuff. Just Golden Guardians has a summoner to get away.
He's been such a huge part of FlyQuest's success. The off-season moves for FlyQuest, bringing in PowerOfEvil, bringing in IgNar, two players with existing synergy from Misfits, and they really have brought a lot of direction, I think, to this team. That you can see it in game. You're talking about IgNar starting off a lot of these plays, roaming on the mobility boots Alistar. PowerOfEvil's got to have to do his part, which has been the later game carry. He got focused a lot early here, but he's been trying to farm it up on the Viktor. Has been able to upgrade the Hex Core and looking for his first item after that.
And he's at least farming decently well, but honestly, not to this typical sort of PoE mark, honestly, right? You're expecting 10 per minute from this guy long term. He's really not there. Second Herald's going to be picked pretty easily by Golden Guardians. We know both top and bottom lane have been attacked a little bit, and this time around, actually, FlyQuest, I think correctly so, happily giving away that Herald and going for the Cloud Drake instead. A little surprised to see Golden Guardians not play for that objective, to not secure that for themselves. They'll get a turret for it almost certainly, but if they were going for Soul, that's been delayed.
Yeah, and it is a Cloud Soul, so a little bit less important for me than a lot of the other Souls given this team composition, but it definitely is still powerful. It's a very conscious choice here by Golden Guardians to look for. Rift Herald #2 means they can actually get all of these outer turrets down. They just use that one on the bottom side, they'll be able to have full map control heading into the successive cloud spawns.
Huhi takes down a Krug camp. Couple hundred gold picked up there. He's rich by support standards, you have to believe. That's going to feel nice. He's close to stone plate. No huge problems there for him.
His support standards are changing too over the years here.
That's true. Oh yeah.
It gets a lot easier to feel rich it's by support standards nowadays. Honestly, both these supports with their mobility boots should be having big impact. They're both looking for roam plays. Huhi had the one good one on mid lane where it was combined with the flash of Closer's Rek'Sai to really get GoldenGlue part of this big lead. But for the most part, it has been IgNar on the Alistar.
Oh, Closer gets collapsed. He knows they're coming. The damage isn't enough. Is it enough? Is it enough? Bullet time? Yes, it is. WildTurtle takes him down. A little bit of poke on Santorin, but GoldenGlue cannot follow through. I'm not sure if he wasn't tracking the tremor sense or what, but they just surrounded him.
Moby Boots Alistar, Phreak. Can't track him with the radar gun. Which way is it going? You don't know until it's too late, and IgNar's right behind him. He even catches the Rek'Sai off guard there. Really good play, though, and that's why we've been talking about him. He continues to push things back for FlyQuest, even though Golden Guardians do have this gold lead and they've got this map control. He's looking for those openings for FlyQuest and trying to keep them in it.
Yeah, right now, got to check in. Gold lead is 2,600. Another fight in the top side, and now a fight in the bottom. FBI, he's going to get the root. Now, is there the follow-through to knock down WildTurtle? He's still in fog of war right now. Walks in with the Scythe active and says, you know what? It's a little bit too scary. Not sure if they're roaming down. Let's just go ahead and back off here. Ulti down for pretty much nothing. As we check back at and everything else, still have yet to see the bottom outer turret fall. Haven't seen FlyQuest pick up one at all.
Yeah, that was a DPS check boss fight right there. FBI was able to get the engage on Turtle with the Gravitum, but with only Severum there, he had to back off as Turtle was able to deal a decent amount of burst. That's going to be the Rift Herald, though, and that is going to be not only the outer turret, they're for number 2. Teleport for the flank.
Oh, Huhi's about to be in a 1 versus 4 here. Son of GoldenGlue solo kills PowerOfEvil. He had flash, didn't use it, got taken down. Now suddenly IgNar's in a bad spot. Viper's here, ready to pop the ulti, ready to go for a fight now as well. But Huhi gonna grab that kill. Nowhere out for Viper. An easy 3K for Golden Guardians. The double for Huhi. He is rich even by non-support standards.
Oh my goodness, Phreak. That was so well played by the Golden Guardians. They clean up this game, basically. You know how many things they just got? That was multiple kills around the dragon. Closer's not even done yet. Plus, 2 secondary turrets will be picked up here. We are in the presence of the Golden God.
They are absolutely popping off. They're about to go to 8 and 10, which has a chance at making playoffs. If there's a time to peak, it's potentially too late, but maybe it's not. We'll see if they can keep going. I'm gonna hope Immortals loses later on today as well.
All right, here's the Golden God in action. He does get pillared off by Santorin, but he threads the bubble right past him and then kills off the carry. Santorin turns around looking for the team. Everybody's just scrambling now, and IgNar and Viper were there trying to pull off a flank with the teleport. But because GoldenGlue made that kill with Zoe, snipes him with the bubble into a one-shot, it completely destroys all of FlyQuest's plans.
And this is peak, like, max damage as well, right? GoldenGlue's on double flat pen. There's no MR on PoE except from the one stat shard in his rune page. That's not going to do a ton. So, yeah, you're seeing absolutely massive damage come out. Now, Hauntzer, yeah, Viper has to pop the Rune King for the slow. And that is a top lane that's feeling pretty good. He got first blooded, and now he's winning in farm. He's winning in turret pressure. He's winning the 1v1.
People always ask, you know, what's your most hated champion? And I know that you, Phreak, are a lover of Teemo, so that's not going to be your answer. One of the most other common answers, though, is Zoe. How does she actually rank for you? Because I know PowerOfEvil after that is pretty frustrated. You get hit by one bubble, and then boom, he's toast, and their team is lost most of the map. You might want to answer after this because IgNar's in.
IgNar is in the middle of the fight with half HP. Viper gonna flash in there as well. Pop the ult to the chase and GoldenGlue flash over the wall. Stays safe. FBI opens up, takes down one, and Ornn takes down number two. Over the wall he goes, finds his second kill. He's running for one, grabs that one. IgNar's gonna be rooted in place. As long as he can find the reveal, that's gonna be the ace. If he can run, he's trying with the cloud movement speed. He gets pushed back. One auto attack. That's the Bud Light ace. That's Golden Guardians running all over FlyQuest.
This has got to be FBI's best champion. He's flashing in on the Aphelios, cleans up all of the kills, and this one is looking like Golden Guardians are peaking right now, Phreak. It's not too late yet. Baron will be theirs. Third Dragon will be theirs.
Yep. You know, they are peaking right now, and it's an advantage for them. Look at this one, 7,000 gold, about to be grown even larger. Baron, a formality here, 43,000 to 34,000. This is such a massive lead for Golden Guardians.
Yeah, I mean, what a weekend for them. It's week 9 of the LCS, crunch time. They're almost out of playoffs, but they still have hopes, and they have a 24-minute win yesterday with Zig's support. This one looking like they're going to be able to clean it up shortly after that, as Baron buff should empower them to break inside these inhibitor turrets. You just pick up the dragon on your way, and hopefully for Golden Guardians, it's going to be a longer path, and they'll get a chance at those tiebreakers.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps the chance at the 5 or 6 game tiebreaker alive. You know, like, we're gonna have some games to play at the very least. If this happens, it's gonna create some interesting scenarios. Again, they still need Immortals to drop, otherwise they still can't catch. So they're really hoping that EG can pull one out for them. At this point, you have to expect, you know, 95 to 5. Golden Guardians wins this game. As the items are stacking up, everything else is ready to go.
And I believe if FlyQuest lose, then our 0 tiebreaker scenarios are gone, so we'll at least have some.
Yep.
Here come the Golden Guardians, though. This inhibitor tower is going to take a beating.
All right, Poke going back and forth. Santorin at half HP, 24 minutes in. They are ready to keep the push going. Anchor comes out, doesn't catch PowerOfEvil. That would have been a kill if it landed, though. Would have had flash, but probably been CC chained all the same. GoldenGlue over the wall, gets the Drowsy. Not sure they can find the follow through, but Hauntzer's going to walk up and say, I own the territory. Alistar can't engage on us. Those are split down to the mid lane. Knock that down a little bit. Flash trade against PoE. Nice attempt there, though, by huhi. Waiting for a new wave. Bit of poke damage down. Ult burned by the Nautilus, but again, PowerOfEvil will stay safe. Threw his own ult down for some wave clear. Now look at the mid lane. Santorin's healthy. Going to try to clear the minions down, so will WildTurtle. The rest of Golden Guardians ready to put this one down. Hauntzer going to pop the ulti. They're going to find some knockups. No, he can't get into it. A great pillar by Santorin. Stops that one from happening. Well played there on the low practice Trundle, but it's not enough to stop the money bags and the fact that Viper was still in the top lane. Claims 2 turrets, gets some gold back in the pockets, but there's 2 dead inhibitors for FlyQuest.
Yep, their base is in ruins. Also, Ornn is now level 15. Gonna start upgrading some extra items. I believe Zoe should be first in line, does get the upgrade on Death Cap. So you thought the one-shots were bad before. They're going to continue. They are going to continue. I love this build. Zoe actually has very good AP ratios for her base images, so you really do want to add a Death Cap in and build as soon as possible. Just stopping for Oblivion Orb and then moving up from there, I think this is actually a great Zoe build. I think it's probably mathematically optimal from the math that I've done. So fan of this build, absolutely on the champion, and will, do absurd damage to many champions. Yet to see any MR on PoE, but of course he doesn't really have the time to do that. He needs to stack damage so he can have a chance at killing the opposing front line as FlyQuest, battle an 8,000 gold deficit. Yeah, in scenarios like this, I don't think you can build to actually soak or tank damage. You have to outplay. Like, FlyQuest have to outplay, have to dodge skill shots. That's their tankiest member, by the way. Well, IgNar goes in with the ulti up there as well. Stun's going to land on a WildTurtle. There's Viper in the back line. FBI has to burn the stopwatch. Maybe they can find the re-engage. They're hoping to find it, but they can't quite do it. That's going to be 2 kills picked up already. The Chaos Storm couldn't quite find the AD carry. IgNar is running. GoldenGlue wants in. That's the 3rd kill picked up. Not a problem at all.
3-0 and 6 on the 2 primary carries. Teleport into the mid lane. This game is over. Golden Guardians had the fastest win of yesterday. They had the fastest win of today as well, which I don't even mean as a joke because it's under 27 minutes. They will knock down this Nexus. The turrets are gone. Hauntzer can tank up infinitely here. No problem at all. Golden Guardians are going to hope and pray that evil geniuses do them a solid, but we might just see them back in playoffs.
This is North America, Phreak. We know drama.
Yes!
The Golden Guardians are trying to set some up.
Oh my gosh, absolutely beautiful. So well played. The early game was great. Santorin and PoE showed up top lane. They got that dive. Then huhi overstepped bottom lane. Santorin was there again. It looked like, wow, FlyQuest ready to take care of business, but it all stopped from then. The roams were good. The mid pressure was good. GoldenGlue and FBI both had outstanding games, and Hauntzer weathered the storm beautifully. The whole squad deserves credit. Golden Guardians improved to 8. And they hope that Immortals can lose so that they can play a tiebreaker for the last playoff spot. The eyes are on that match.
You're gushing, Phreak.
Hey, it's things
Big
to
heart
watch
eye
for.
emojis.
It's things to watch for. It's exciting. We got at least 7 more games to play today because we're going to have some tiebreakers. So stay tuned. We'll be back after this.